And then I'm going. And I just want to mention one thing. Tuesday night at 7 p.m. I don't know what you guys are, how your lives are, but I'm doing a vision workshop. It's not a vision board workshop. It is a vision, like casting your vision, and like instead of living your life by default, it's living your life by design. So if anyone wants to join, I can share the link. It's Tuesday at 7. Metabolic reset. Yeah, let me know. It's going to be fun. I've spent a lot of time creating the presentation, so it should be good.
Kelly, is it okay if Nancy messages you right now? She's struggling to get in.
Yeah.
Can they start? Okay.
Yeah.
Because she's Facebook messaging me right now, and I'm trying to send the link to her, and I'm like,
well, and you might want to give her an official invite, a welcome to your team.
yes. Oh, is she officially there? That is lovely. I will.
Yeah.
That's super exciting. Yay. Well, thank you everyone for being here today. I'm Melissa. I am streaming from the unceded territory of the Seal Nation. And I'm super pumped because Kelly's like, Melissa, you got to do another metabolism one. And I think it was last week, Kelly said it to me. And I was like, Kelly, yes, absolutely. I have been diving, like every month, I'm diving deeper into the understanding of metabolism, our gut, and our products. And my mind is blown. And I know it's when I started this journey, was it September, October when we started it, I went in with faith because I knew that doTERRA's products, what I was hearing from convention is that they're looking at slowing down our sugar spikes. And at that point in time, or flattening, they would say at that point in time, I was really diving into understanding the type 2, like the onset of type 2 diabetes and what's happening with people around us and one of my loved ones. And it's like the timing was perfect. So I've been diving into the learning even more, and I cannot believe how these products have been changing my life and the lives of others. Phenomenal, but it's not just the products alone. So that's what I'm here to talk to you guys about too, is when you're sharing this with other people and you're doing this yourself, you are going to have to do a little bit of shifting if you're looking for changes in health. So today we're going to talk about some of that shifting. We're going to talk about what's happening inside our body with our metabolism gut. We're going to talk about nutrition and digestion, a little bit of the pillars of metabolism, and the simple steps. This is the key. So if you were on the call before, let's see, Ray, if I can get this. I got this up. Does it mean I can move it? Yes. If you were on the call before, just want to know what brought you here today. So in the chat, if you could just throw it in there, it's important for us to always reflect on our own personal whys. Like, why are we doing this? Why are you here? It could be curiosity for some of you, for sure, but put in the chat, like, what is important to you? Do you need more energy? Are you looking to release weight? Are you a hot mess? Saying, it's okay if you are, right? And I'll get into that a little bit more. Is sleeping an issue? Are you looking for more clarity? Do you need less stress? All of these things. Do you need less stresses? I have a teenager like hovering around me right now. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? The gut health was huge for me because I have celiac disease. Gut health was huge. And hormones, which that was actually giant as well, but I didn't really understand all of it until I started to dig deeper. But the hormone health, I knew there was this thing called perimenopause that I was being told, oh, it's perimenopause. Oh, it's perimenopause. Oh, it's perimenopause. What does that even mean? It's your hormones. Yeah, but why? And so I got into it. So Nancy, hello. Release weight, sleep, decrease brain fog.
I'm actually on a Zoom call at the moment.
Yeah. Jana, balance hormone health and releasing weight. They're so interconnected. All of the above, Julie. Yes. Isn't it? It's like everything. Well, I think Julie too, when you and I first started, we were looking at that clarity, that brain fog stuff for sure. So we're not alone in this. And I think it's really important that we reflect on this together, because when we understand that the 6.8% of North American adults that have this healthy metabolic state, we have to know that this is a system. And so this isn't just like, I don't know, it's like most of our neighbors. We're in this metabolic health crisis because we don't understand nutrition and digestion, nor have we been, I'm going to say this, we haven't been taught. Like, I'm a teacher and I haven't taught this well. And so I'm working with other teachers to say, we've got to talk about this because our kids aren't well. They're in a metabolic health crisis. So this isn't just us, the adults on the call. These are the kids. So learning about metabolism and sharing this with others is really, really important, because this is integral to our well-being. And our body is using oxygen and nutrients to make the energy that we need for this big word, homeostasis. And that is the balance and health and healing. And that's what we're striving for. And metabolism is key. It's unbelievable, actually. And there's some gaps in my own understanding. And I taught homeostasis for Science 12. So I know that the system is missing this, because I wasn't, like, my textbooks did not include this knowledge. So we know this. This is what I was able to teach. You all remember the mitochondria is the energy producer of the cell. But there is a fundamental piece that when I taught it, we'd always look at this one little mitochondria in the cell. We'd always draw it that way. But that's not the truth. The truth is that organs have, like, the cell within an organ has millions of mitochondria. So that changes the way that I saw my own self. I'm like, there's like millions of these, not just one. Okay, so these are really important, because I was just taught there was one per cell, but there's millions in certain body parts. So can anyone, and you might remember, what organs have the most mitochondria? Throw it in the chat. What do you remember? Or if you don't, you can guess for sure, because some of you remember from last time and some of you just throw it out there. What organs do you think have the most mitochondria in their cells? And think about the organs that we're supporting today. Or you don't have to chat. You can always just like unmute and say it. Like, where is everybody? Are you there? Let's see. Oh, you did. Nancy, you're right. Liver. Yes. Stomach. Right. Yes. Oh, and it's okay that we forget. So there's the key one there. When we figure out something, there's a part of our body, the big one. Let's see. Yeah, Nancy, there it is. It's brain. It is. It's brain, stomach, liver. And there's another one too that I didn't talk about before that I'm going to talk about today, and that's also skin. So cell function and mitochondrial function, thyroid, right? Exactly. Now you're thinking at that meta level, right? Yes. All these different parts of our body that have really important roles to our well-being have these energy producers. Yeah. So then thinking, okay, how do we take care of them? How do we take care of them? We need exceptional nutrition and dietary cofactors to go with it. So we do need whole foods. And this is where our system, and I don't want to say this is not, like, when you look at only 6.8% of the people in the population, have optimal metabolic health. This is a system that has taught us to not have optimal metabolic health. So a lot of the foods that we see in the store are not helping us to reach homeostasis or to heal. The middle foods in the store, even if they're gluten-free, they are not exceptional nutrition. Phytochemicals, this is plants. These are the plants. This is what's coming out of the soil. This is exceptional nutrition. Supplements as well, because, and we've talked about this before, our soil isn't necessarily in good health. So we're not getting the same nutrients from the plants that our ancestors would have got. So people are working really hard to figure out how they can use whole food supplements that are safe, that have a clean environment, that have reduced exposure to the toxins to help support our body in healing. Sugar is toxin. It's a toxin. And I know this is a hard one because our system is filled with sugar, as well as other processed foods. Or processing, I should say. Exercise, mitochondria love exercise, and mitochondria also love effective stress management. It's because when our cortisol and our adrenals are out of control, all that system's out of control, it's blocking the pathway that our body needs to give mitochondria what it needs. And those poor little mitochondria are just crumbling. Now, all of these parts also relate to our gut health. So metabolic health and gut health are interconnected. So this number one thing that I really want to help us focus on, and I've been putting a lot of time into this, is healthy eating. At school, when I'm working with kids, the number one thing for me before, is they're coming to me done, they're noodled. And the number one thing is, what have we eaten? And let's talk about this. How many here, okay, in the chat, you got to let me know, how many here have experienced, and Julie, you and I were talking about this, a food that, and I don't know if everyone's been using the MetaPower products, but since using the MetaPower products, what is an unhealthy food that your body is not eating now? So this will only be for the people that are using the MetaPower, because that's the power of the MetaPower. What is a food that you're like, I'm just not craving it as much anymore? And this is interesting because it's not necessarily good for you. So if you want to throw it down in the chat, salt. Oh, Ray, isn't that interesting? Oh, less caffeine for Julie, potato chips for Nancy.
Chips.
Yeah.
Nancy, you're a chip person.
Yeah. Oh, me, this is putting it in there.
Oh, I love popcorn. I was cheating around with the popcorn last night. It's so good. At Guilford, they have the kernels, and it's so good.
But that would have been honestly, popcorn was that's easily my go-to. And right now it's my body isn't wanting that anymore. And I know I'm learning why. It's because my gut biome has changed. So those are it's fast food for unhealthy gut biome. Fast food, that's what it is. It's your gut biome and I'm just going to eat this crud. And then you've got, anyway, we'll get into that. So yeah, those are definitely the things there. I've had people tell me, they're like, Melissa, I'm not drinking as much beer. And they said it's good, right? Because they're, your body doesn't actually need beer. Sometimes wants it, but it doesn't actually need it. That doesn't help with homeostasis or metabolic function. It hinders it. I love it. Oh, Nancy, that's so powerful. That is so powerful when things that used to call your name no longer call your name anymore. Because the biggest thing that people can get stuck with is there's food shaming, and it's really toxic. That's actually like a stress management piece. So food shaming is really toxic to us, but we have a system of food shaming. It's there. And we're restricting, a lot of the diets restrict us from eating certain things. That's not what we want. That's not optimal health. Optimal health is actually having that, it's like a meta where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't actually want it anymore. I don't crave it anymore. And it's like, right, you said you don't even have to consider them anymore. And that's your body righting itself. And that's the goal that we want. And shame is so dangerous. It's actually, there's a new gut book out called, and it's got shameflammation. So it talks about how shaming actually creates inflammation in our body. Oh, so smart, Lucy. When you think that you're hungry, because that's that habit, you're going to go have a Metapower gum instead. Absolutely. Beautiful. Thank you for that, because that was a transition for me too, is that to change that habit, it was I wonder if this is a habit of hunger. It's not really hunger, because that, chips and popcorn aren't really giving me the nutrients. So I'm just going to go have a Metapower gum, or I'm going to put some drops in my water. That's brilliant. I'm a drop in the water person. I love it. Or the beadlets. I love the beadlets. Okay. So what can we do for ourselves here with healthy eating? It is habits. It's a lot about habits. Julie and I talked about this one right out of the gates, but we really need to know that our mitochondria need a healthy gut biome. So that means we need to feed it whole foods and vegetables, phytochemicals, prebiotics, probiotics, vitamins, and minerals. Foods such as cauliflower, salmon, blueberries, pumpkin seeds, mixed legumes. These are some of the brain foods. So if you want to screenshot this, or I can share this, I already shared this with Kel. So Kelly, happily share this with people, so that they know where to turn to go, okay, when I go out grocery shopping, maybe I don't normally eat cauliflower. Maybe I don't have pumpkin seeds. Maybe mixed legumes are not even a part of it. We'll talk about this a little bit more too, because this relates to our big BOGO box. I'll tell you why. So making sure, okay, out of these ones, just out of curiosity, chat. Get in that chat. What's one thing right now that you could have added to your fridge or pantry out of these things, or that you have in your fridge or pantry? This is a really good practice for our brains, because it helps identify and key in to what's good for us. This is where my years of teaching.
What is your question?
Okay, one of these things, cauliflower, salmon, blueberries, pumpkin seeds, mixed legumes, put in the chat right now, either what you have or what you could easily go and get.
Oh, I love salmon, but make sure you don't eat Atlantic salmon. So
right.
I'd eat the wild sockeye people.
Right. Yes. So
do you think that the steelhead is also good enough?
I think it just depends on how it's caught. So you want to make sure that, your wild.
The steelhead is trout, right? It's got salmon properties from a lake.
As long as it's not right now, and this is a whole other conversation, but as long as we're not looking at farmed, we're okay, because there's farmed can be dangerous. So what do we have? I have all these, Ray, you rock. I have everything, but I can't. So Tina, if you can't eat salmon, then we're looking for other brain food supports in there. And so finding your healthy brain omegas. Salmon is the key, but there are other places to find healthy brain omegas, like pumpkin seeds. This is hilarious. I switched to having pumpkin seeds at school for kids because of how nutrient dense they are. So really? Kids will come in, they're like little birds. I'm like, okay, little birdies, put your hands out. There's your pumpkin seeds, because they need nutrients.
Okay.
Pumpkin seeds, yeah, also help. That's magnesium, isn't it, Ray? Pumpkin seeds, yeah, they're super powerful. And we can actually flaxseed, Nancy, 100%.
Jana, are those pumpkin seeds not roasted or green?
Pardon me?
Are the pumpkin seeds roasted or green?
I have them roasted.
Okay.
I have them roasted. They're organic roasted ones from Costco. And they're actually it's an affordable snack to hand out to children. Just handing something out. I'm like, here you go. That's really nutrient dense. Oh, that is so wonderful. Okay, good. Jana, one of the girls in our community also, like, she's like, Melissa, don't you make me eat cauliflower. I'm like, okay, no, try and just find a different way to do it. And so she started to do like cauliflower rice. So she'd add more of that cauliflower to her rice to increase that nutrient density of the food that she was eating. And she's like, actually, that worked. So anytime that she's having rice, she's not just having white rice, she's now combining it with cauliflower. And she said, you can't tell, but it's increasing that nutrient density for her. She needs. Cool. All right, next one. Reproductive mitochondria love a healthy gut biome. So this is like the hormones that are being released in our body. And to balance out the hormones, we need to have whole foods and vegetables, phytochemicals, prebiotics, probiotics, vitamins, and minerals. Same thing. This is where our fermented foods are coming in, as well as, again, cauliflower, almonds, Brussels sprouts, and edamame. These are hormone foods. Again, throw it in there. What do you have, or what could you think about getting, and share a little bit about this, because this is how we shift into realizing what we can do for ourselves. So what do you have in here that you eat? Fried cauliflower in air fryer, 1000%. It is so good. I also, edamame, almond, sauerkraut, good stuff, Kelly. We love the edamame.
Yeah, I have an addiction to hot sauce, so I put salt on them and I dip them in hot sauce. Like, so it's like if I'm
okay, thank you, because I love it with salt, and now I'm gonna love it with hot sauce. Oh
yeah, super good. Frank's all the way.
Yeah. So if you have an aversion to edamame soy, absolutely, you still have other options, right? Edamame, what is that? Edamame soy, they're soybeans. They are easy to grow, very easy to grow. And they taste, they sort of taste like bitter peas. Is that a good way of putting it? I don't know. What would you say?
No. Bitter
think?
peas. I don't know. They're like kind of creamy and they're yummy and they're Asian. You know what else is good is if you mix some soy, like, or like some, what's other, not soy, the other stuff with wasabi, and you dip it, it's good too.
Julie, you have hit the nail on the head. You're actually like a screen ahead of us. So Julie just said, right, some people have trouble, right? So even like, Kelly, your gut biome has changed. Like how you're saying how to eat all these things, your gut biome is shifted or is naturally like that. So you don't struggle with that way of eating, but our gut biomes are so different that we need to find the support so we can get into a place where we can eat fermented foods. Brussels sprouts and cauliflower, could you imagine? Some people will be like, okay, no, my stomach can't handle it. But Julie just said Terrazyme. It's like, yes. Okay, last one, liver mitochondria. There you are, Nancy. We need whole foods and vegetables, prebiotics, probiotics, vitamins, and minerals. So ginger, grapefruit, pistachios, butter beans, fennel. These are liver metabolism boosting foods. This is interesting, ginger and grapefruit. Okay, what's in here that you know? That, when you hear ginger and grapefruit, and even fennel, that's interesting too. What does it make you think of? Yeah, Lucy, it is. When I had done this, so I got this from Eat More Plants, and this information came from that book, and she, is it Rosie? The author is a doctor, and she's researching really into gut biome and the benefits of plants for our gut biome. And when I saw ginger and grapefruit, I'm like, there it is. That's MetaPower, because, I knew right away something was happening with my gut, but I didn't know the details. And my liver, like I knew it was my liver and my gut, like something's going on here. And these are they have the supporting antioxidants. It's fantastic. So one, Julie said it, Terrazyme. This is actually fantastic. If you haven't got the BOGO box, get it. I think Kelly, how many are left? Do you know? Are we at like 70 or 90%?
Let's look.
Because this BOGO box is different than anyone that I've seen since starting, like for the past 7 years, having these digestive products alongside it, as well as the calming ones of the vetiver and cedarwood, phenomenal.
75%.
Pardon me?
Today's the last 75%,
Yeah.
but today's the last day.
So today is the last day. So if you have customers that are, you know, in your community that are starting to look at using the MetaPower line to support them, reach out and also say, hey, this BOGO box is invaluable because this is supporting that digestion when it comes to shifting how we're eating, because they want to shift to whole foods to really maximize the benefits of the MetaPower system. It's vital. So Terrazyme is free. There is some understanding of, you know, when you're using Terrazyme, you can't use MetaPower Assist and Terrazyme at the same time. The idea is pick one or the other. So if you're about to have a really cruciferous, like heavy cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, or beans, and those things bother your gut, then go for the Terrazyme rather than the MetaPower Assist. And if you're, I don't know, if you're going into like highly processed foods, I think it just depends on how your body responds and what you need for your body. If you notice that you get that, like I have an aversion to highly processed foods now. So I can't think of when I did have something, because I know that when I have highly processed foods that I get a glucose spike and then I crash so hard and I'm so tired. And that's when I would have the MetaPower Assist to stop that crash. Because I just feel like I'm going to like almost fall over.
I'll be right back.
So the other thing that's the BOGO today is the PB Assist. And we were just talking about how at the very beginning, how important it is to have PB Assist when you're going through times where your immune system is being attacked, because those your little probiotics, like you need to feed, your healthy gut bacteria with those probiotics. I just was distracted because I have a dog who's like whining right now because I'm in here and they're not in here. Totally distracted by that human or that doom. Julie, can dogs have PB Assist? Is Julie on there still? She knows this.
Yes. If they're over 10 pounds, I think they have to be bigger, not little tiny ones.
So the big ones can have a PB Assist.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he's whining, to remind me to ask you that.
And you're not supposed to open it up. You're supposed to just give it to them in their food as is, because it's the double capsule to get through the stomach into the intestines.
Thank you, Julie. And Terrazyme too for dogs, or no?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So I would see, like, if a dog, for me, tell me if this is right, just thinking about humans, if a dog has like some severe like skin rashy stuff going, and I know humans, it's the same, our gut system, it can be off when we get these eczemas of like flare-ups or whatever. And when a dog gets that, I'm wondering if the PB Assist and Terrazyme would help with like the bigger dogs as well, if they've got the hot spots. Do you remember that being communicated in any of the courses that you took? They say that.
I don't remember specifically, but I know feeding raw definitely helps that also. So I think a combination.
Okay.
Like when we first got our foster dog, he had dry spots, or hot spots, I mean, and his coat was brittle and terrible, but he was on terrible food. So we switched him and those all went away and his coat's beautiful now.
See, and then there it is we were talking about how the dogs are like a canary in the coal mine, terrible food. And as soon as you switch to food that supports the system, the skin clears up too. I didn't do the skin one, but the skin, like supporting metabolic health of the skin, it's there in our gut, right? It's phenomenal. Thank you, Julie. And Lucy, PB assist is assist for most every woman. Yeah, I agree 100%. Actually, the PB assist it's incredible what it can do. Lucy, do you take it at night? When do you take your PB assist?
I take my PB assist at lunchtime, but now I'm trying to switch because I've listened to Emily Wright on Instagram, and they were saying to take the PB assist more at nighttime. So I'm trying maybe to switch, but regarding the Terrazyme, I'm a fan of the Terrazyme. And I'm taking my Advantage, MetaPower Advantage in the morning. Then I have my breakfast and I take a Terrazyme at breakfast. I take a Terrazyme at lunchtime, and I skip the Terrazyme at dinner time because that's my bigger meal of the day. And that's when I take my assist, my MetaPower assist. And I take a Terrazyme at nighttime.
Oh, wow. Oh, awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you for that
And
protocol.
I don't have any issues, stomach issues. And Terrazyme at nighttime, I've heard in a class, and also it's Emily Wright who says that. Terrazyme at nighttime is good if you are a late eater, because it will help to digest the food that is not digested from your stomach before you go to bed, because to be healthy, you need to have a healthy sleep, and you get a restful sleep if your stomach is empty, not full working. So that's another trick with the Terrazyme.
Lucy, thank you. That's so insightful. I really appreciate that you shared both the protocol, because I think a lot of people are looking to support their community with protocols and examples of protocols. And I don't know if that would be a nice one. I don't know if someone's able to type that out and share it, or Lucy, if you could type that out and share that, because there's just so much insight in that, especially with that last little piece too. If people are eating the late dinner, knowing that Terrazyme can help them with digestion, that's incredible, right? Like just thinking about how important that is for our sleep to help us get into that. We need that deeper REM. And a lot of us are missing that deeper REM because our systems are, they're working overtime.
Yes, and I'm also following the Glucose Goddess on Instagram. And she's also great explaining the sugar spikes. And so if you're looking for a good book with pictures, easy to read, and with good tricks, she also has great tricks with the sugar spikes. So it's a good combination with the MetaPower and the healthy gut.
Lucy, that is exactly where I started. I actually had read Glucose Revolution right before MetaPower was released. Yeah. And I was blown away because the two of them go together perfectly.
Yeah.
So good. So one of the things too, and this isn't out of the Glucose Revolution. This is out of Eat More Plants, talking about healthy habit hacks. Oh, you made your way in here, honey. Hi. When you are shopping, add more fresh and or frozen produce, like that, mixed bags to your groceries, because you need to have them on hand. And I'll just speak from my own experience. I was in the past couple of years, that wasn't front of mind. I think I was eating out of comfort and eating to feed the bad bacteria in my stomach. And I just didn't think about that. So now I'm really putting that number one there, is when I'm out, okay, I can do this. I'm going to get curious about what that vegetable might be over there and see how I could eat it. Every time you serve up a meal, think, what veggies could I add? And actually use this morning because I felt a little time crunch. I'm like, oh, I've got to get on. I've got to be ready for this call. I want to have some eggs. And I had, like I always do, that Glucose Goddess hack where I start with a vegetable first. So I had the veggie first, and I was going to have the eggs, but then I'm like, you know what? No, I got more spinach yesterday. So then I threw some more spinach in there. And that, like, spinach is incredible for nutrient density as well. So I'm like, oh, see, that works. Because I normally would have just done the eggs and not added anything. And then before you eat, think, how am I supporting my gut? And this is actually an interesting practice of gratitude. So, you know, how am I supporting my gut is also important to be like, I'm thankful that I am supporting my gut. So not from a shame place, but from a place of, wow, okay, this is awesome. And supporting yourself, because that actually helps with our neuroscience and our psychology, is when we sit there and we're truthfully grateful for what we're eating. And you're looking at it going, oh, I'm really grateful that I'm eating some more spinach, or I added spinach to this because I know that's going to help my body, or I'm eating this and I know that's going to help my body. It actually reinforces how we eat and how we eat well. My puppy. So out of those three things right there, what's one that you feel comfortable? And you can share this. We don't have to put this in the chat. You can if you want, or just, you know, pop in and say, what's one of these things that you feel, okay, I can do this. Oh yeah, Lucy, put some clothes on your carbs. I love that one. Making sure that when you're eating carbs that you have some protein as well. I love that hack. That's such a good one because that stops your glucose from spiking. But out of these three, which one? Lucy, what do you think? That's putting clothes on your carbs is number 3, right? How am I supporting my gut? That's 100% number 3. Has anyone shifted in the way that they shop for groceries since starting MetaPower?
Well, I've been trying not to eat crap for a long time because I used to be 220 pounds. So I've just been like more mindful about, I actually just found out that I have like a thing with like dairy and gluten. So I'm get away from that.
Yeah, gluten and dairy. I think just in the way that food has been processed, again, you know, Kelly, you're one of, I don't even know how many millions of people that are just finding this out now or have.
Yeah, it's annoying.
It's, well, yeah, but it would be less annoying if our system wasn't filled with it.
Right.
If we had different options, or if we were taught, right, like to eat differently, if it was just look different, it'd be easy.
Right.
Oh, I like that, Julie. This is everyone's story, right? Like, how many frozen bananas are there in your freezer? But always have veggies in the fridge. They used to go bad often before I got to them. Now I try to get to them. Absolutely. Less food waste.
A good trick that I find is when I come home with my groceries, I wash my veggies and I cut some celery, some carrots, and I put it in Tupperwares ready to eat. So if we have a craving or something, I just tell to my husband, grab celery, it's ready. You need to have stuff ready if you want to, because you'll grab something else. You'll grab a cookie or but if you have carrots, celeries, and veggies already ready to grab, I find it's a good trick.
That's important to share with our families, right? Like those that we love, just making sure that that's a habit. I remember growing up, and I was very fortunate to have a mom who was very focused on health and would have, like you said, that the Tupperware, I can remember the Tupperware container with the veggies in it, but not everyone knew that. And I think there was a time where I got away from it because it's easy to slip into other habits. So now it's like, I've got to show my kids, we always have the veggies ready in there, or at least they can also help, you know, have the veggies ready. I like that. I think that was Jana that said the third question is a meaningful one. It is, Jana. It's a very powerful one, because for people that have a strong faith, that is, I think, also where prayer comes in. And it's a very complex one because, you know, that's a traditional, like very traditional way of thinking, is being grateful for the food that you're about to eat. I don't know if I mean traditional, I don't know if that's the right word, but it's like a ceremonial piece. And it is important. Convenience, laziness is their downfall. Yes, 100%. So having that, having all of these there, hopefully will help you making those shifts. Now, I think we like the smart supplementation part of this. I think we like address this just in our conversation, which is fantastic. So when we notice what supports our liver as well as our gut, the MetaPower blend. So like grapefruit, peppermint, cinnamon, ginger, and lemon, they all have phytochemicals and antioxidants that support both our gut metabolism and our liver. It is quite magical. And I know that a lot of people are looking at that fat cell maturation and curbing cravings and supporting, well, the last one is the one I'm talking about, the supporting metabolic health, because it's the supporting of the metabolic health that's doing the other two things. That makes sense. Okay, out of how many here are using MetaPower oil right now? Just throw it in the chat. Are you an oil person? Are you a gum person? Are you a soft gel person? Are you all of the above? What are you using? Lucy, full system. Awesome. I am loving in the water. Crave it now. Yeah, Julie, I love the oil. It's in my purse and the beadlets. Is anyone besides Lucy using the MetaPower soft gels? Are they a morning, noon, and night? Are you using them once a day? How often? And you can unmute to answer this one, because that was sort of like raised 3 times a day. Cool. Yeah. I think for the first 3 months was really focused on that, and then sort of just stayed with the collagen and the beadlets and a little bit of the oil, but I'm going to come back in because they're really convenient. Because I think what I might want to do is just take the oil out of my purse Ray, after every meal. Oh, good question. Lucy just asked, Ray, is it after every meal that you're having? Or is it before or after?
Yes, I'm taking it after each meal.
Awesome. I just had an oil explosion in my purse the other day, and I don't know why. It was Blue Lotus. My purse smells fantastic. So now I'm thinking I'm going to take the MetaPower oil out of my purse and I'm going to put the soft gels in so that we don't have an explosion, because I don't need another oil explosion. Okay, next one, assist. We were talking about how the assist is used to help flatten our sugar spikes, which in turn supports our metabolism, because we are not getting sugar in the system, and sugar creates all this inflammation so that our cells can't work properly. So assist, I loved Lucy's way of eating where it's Terrazyme, assist, and then a Terrazyme before bed. I think that's a beautiful protocol. Is there anyone that takes assist at a different time? How is it working for you?
I've been doubling up on the assist. I'm taking 2 at a time.
You're taking 2 at a time or 2 in a day? 2 at a time?
Two. I take it only once in the day, usually before dinner, and I take 2.
And your tummy's been okay with that?
Yeah.
Good? Okay, cool.
It's just a thing though, I would say to be careful with the second assist. Maybe make sure that you have enough carbs, not to have a sugar low.
Mm.
Oh
So,
yeah, no, it seems to be okay.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. And I think that's also important. Like, you know, one protocol isn't necessarily the same protocol for someone else, that we all work very differently. And just to be listening to our bodies, I think is the most important thing for us to do. Last but not least, the MetaPower Advantage. This is a magical substance. It's a magical powder that has, I think for me, well, it's been the whole system, but I know my body is like, okay, we need to have our advantage. It has totally helped me cut down on the morning caffeine intake, as well as I just feel like my energy is level throughout the day and that I have a brain. Because my job, sometimes I'm like, I have no brain left. This saved me, this system saved me, because I would get home from work after having a very long day, and I would just sit there, and I think like definitely have secondary trauma from the experiences with the kids that I'm working with, and I would just sit there and be quite exhausted, because I think it's the best word ever. And this has saved me so that I feel like I can do things when I get home and have a life. Julie, that's it. Lots more evening energy. And that's been a beautiful gift, because I know that, you know, when you get home from a long day, and a lot of us put everything there is into our time with those during the day, you just feel like, do I have anything at home for those that I love? And I needed that energy. And morning boost, Lucy, that's so good. I know for some people they need that because they need to get going in the morning, and instead of caffeine, the Metapower can be that answer. That is incredible. I'm excited to see how this affects more and more people in positive ways. Because I know that I was seeing, even for teenagers, like there's this big thing with kids in the caffeine. What are those monsters? The monster drinks. And I know that there was a mom who I heard had switched the Metapower out for the monster drink, and the kid didn't crave the monster anymore. I'm like, oh, that is good. I know that it helps with the gut. So I think we had some incredible personal success stories in here today, and I had some insight while we discussed so many things, and I'm so happy that you were here, and thank you. If there's any other stories that you want to share that you feel are meaningful, I know we have just a couple minutes left, let us know. Is there anything else that anyone else wants to add? For anyone else that might be new to Metapower, is there anyone on this call that hasn't had Metapower yet?
I haven't, and I'm interested in trying it. Ray has introduced it to me, so this has been really helpful. I'm also, though, interested in looking at this BOGO box too. So yeah, but this has been really helpful. So thank you.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
welcome.
the BOGO box is a crazy good deal, like with just all the things for digestion and sleep and anxiety. It's like your staples, especially with the Terrazyme and the probiotics being in there. I think that it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Lucy has a question too. I think when we're looking at the collagen. So the collagen in the Metapower it's marine, number one, which is really important because a lot of people struggle with it's like the cow collagen, bovine, and it seems to be, and I just, you know, I haven't had a lot of people speak from personal comparison. I'm starting to get more customers switching to the Advantage. But from what I've heard is that it's more effective because there's more different collagen types in it. So I think in Kelly, is this right? It has the highest amount of different types of collagen.
Yeah, you won't find another collagen on the market. So when you hear from people, oh, I have this other collagen, blah, blah, blah. It's not there's nothing on the market. So there's 9 different types of collagen. There's resveratrol, hyaluronic acid. There is NAD and NMN. So there is like
isn't there sea buckthorn in it too?
Yep, there's sea buckthorn.
Yeah.
There are so many cool things in there that promote longevity. So it's not just about having beautiful hair, skin, and nails. It's about reducing inflammation in the joints. It's about
it reduces inflammation in the brain.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been doubling up on it. I do one in the morning, and then I do one at night with a couple of drops of lavender in it.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like if you were to buy all these products individually, it would be over $350. It would cost you for the box of Advantage.
Well, so, and the big one too, Kelly, like Julie said, that I didn't realize before, that different collagens work for different parts of the body. That's really important, but right, to know that that's helping. And Lucy said, in helping our system do what it needs to do, that really it's supporting more parts of the system. But that NMN, I was working with one of the girls that is a health sort of practitioner and I were discussing this last night, and she said she started to look into the NMN that doTERRA has, and it blew her mind. She's like, yes, I need to make sure I have this, because this is like right at the cutting edge of research and support, natural health support. She's like, this is like a natural health revolution.
Yeah.
She goes, it's fantastic that doTERRA has this and it's working for people. I'm like, yes. So what they have figured out works for people. And so I'm really excited, you know, when people do ask that question, what's the difference with the collagen? It's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You'll feel it. You'll feel it within, I think, like 10, some people maybe longer, but a lot of people were feeling it within 10 days.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my
Totally.
God. The BOGO box, a really important thing, folks, like that BOGO box works with this system.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful timing that this came out, right? Like when you said, Melissa, can you do this? I'm like, yes, but I'm going to have to talk about the BOGO box too, because it just is like right there with the digestive health, especially if we're choosing to eat those whole foods. Our stomach's going to need support. For sure.
Yeah.
Let me see. Is there anything else? I really appreciate everyone being here today and just sharing. Oh, and helping with weight issues. Lucy, that, you know, a lot of people, I want to make sure that when I say this, that looking at that hormone balance and looking at it from that lens of metabolism, it will help that weight that is being held, it will help to release it. And then what happens is you start to feel like you can move more, and that movement helps with metabolism. And if there's like weight, like if it's holding there and it doesn't need to be there, your body will move it through. Because I always look at weight. It can be a very shameful experience for a lot of people. So I'm very careful how I talk about that, because body image, our system again has made an absolute mess of body image. Won't even get into that. So it's important that as we're going through this process, that we're going through it with the lens of loving our body, because then what we'll do is we'll start to support it with what it needs versus that shaming feeling. So when we share it with people, please try and use that lens of love. And because we'll then start to pick the things that help us love our body even more. Love it, because it's so, and I speak, you know, from my heart here, because I work with a lot of little people and they have the body shaming issues, because our system has created it. It's worse than I could even imagine. I couldn't imagine growing up as a teenage kid right now with social media. I could not. So the more that we can model that language and that love of our body through, you know, natural supports and through love, I think that we can help, you know, more people that that need that. Just it's a very toxic culture, and yeah, gives me the goosebumps.
So, I find that starting to, I had all my life, I had weight issues. Well, I always had issues with loving myself, and I find that the MetaPower, one of the thing that the MetaPower helped me with, it was, I think it's it's full of happy oils.
Oh,
so I find that I love myself. So it helps with self-esteem also, I think. And I'm convinced that it's the oils in the MetaPower blend that is helping that, because when I first started it, I didn't see anything on the way, like in the measurings, and because I did the 30-day workout or something. It was a 30-day thing that when you started the MetaPower. And what I found was that I didn't see any change in my measurements, weight, or on the balance, anything on the weight, but I felt better inside. So that's what I find with the MetaPower. So I find that I'm convinced that it can help lots of people that have issues. Like, you don't need to lose weight. Just it's helping you inside, and it will automatically go outside. For me, the word.
That is absolutely perfect, Lucy. That's it. That's, yeah. It from a biochemical level, I love that you said that. It's like the chemicals in the oils are helping me feel good about myself. And that's what we want, right? We want to be able to just feel that. Like, a lot of the kids that I work with, they're like, I just want to feel a sense of peace and a sense of purpose. And I'm like, that's what we want. I love it. Well, thank you. That has been a magical hour. I really appreciate everyone for being here.
Yeah, thanks. This was great.
So good.
I think this is a really good one to like share the recording with. So I will give like the recording if you guys want to send this out to people. That I will create. I'll drop it in the Facebook group. So you can, and if any of you guys have anyone who you think would be supported by this, you can also message me and I'll send you the recording.
Awesome.
Alrighty. Okay, cool. Love you guys, and I will see you soon.
Thank you, Kelly. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Bye.